Audio Jungle.
Ayoung, mother of one, fought for her life as her drunken boyfriend threw things at her and tried to gouge her eyes out with a broom handle. Samantha Jenkins, 33, was left with sickening injuries after Kevin Owen beat her up for well over an hour in November 2014. He threw an ashtray and television set at her before attempting to strangle and gouge her eyes out with a broom handle.Ms. Jenkins, of Carefully, South Wales, had her two front teeth knocked out and had to spend 2 days in hospital, having stitches after the brutal assault. Owen was sentenced to 9 years in prison after being convicted of wounding with intent at Cardiff Crown Court in July 2015. But Ms. Jenkins is terrified he could soon be on the streets again after being told he could get early release. Now in another relationship, the young mother says the emotional scars of the incident will stay with her forever, and she still suffers with trust issues. The carer said, "I knew he wasn't exactly the one, but I had no idea he would turn on me. I was fighting for my life when he attacked me. I could easily have died that night." "What he did has left me insecure and paranoid in my new relationship. I definitely have trust issues after what I've been through." Now he's being released. I'm even more terrified. It isn't fair that he gets to come back to Carefully after what he did to me. Ms. Jenkins started to see Owen's true colors after they moved into together a few weeks into their relationship. She said, "At first he seemed fine, but he soon became jealous and controlling. He was always picking at me, and he could be violent and aggressive. He'd hit me on previous occasions, but it got worse and worse the longer we were together, becoming a daily occurrence." On the night of the attack, a friend was hanging out and drinking at the flat with us when Kevin started to get jealous and argumentative. Used to Owen's controlling behavior, she told the friend to leave and that she'd be fine, unaware of what was about to happen. She said, "I'd become quite numb to the abuse and didn't expect anything truly bad to happen, but something changed in him that night. He wasn't just shoving me around, he was giving it everything he had. He grabbed a mirror and hit me over the head with it. Then he was on top of me and beating me with a broomstick." He was putting so much force into it that he literally snapped it in half. Then he started trying to gouge out my eyes with the handle. She didn't know the full extent at the time, but was later told Owen had thrown a glass tray and even a television set at her during the attack. Ms. Jenkins continued, "I was fighting for my life, and it lasted for well over an hour. It was endless, and I had no idea if I'd make it." Eventually, I spotted a piece of cracked mirror next to me on the floor and I hit him with it, so he'd get off. I grabbed my phone and ran upstairs to call the police. He was still coming at me the whole time, but was bleeding heavily, so combined with how much alcohol he drank, he was a bit hazy. I even tried to get out of the bathroom window and was screaming for help, desperate for one of my neighbors to hear what was going on. The police arrived to a bloodbath and immediately arrested Owen, while an ambulance arrived for his terrified girlfriend. She spent 2 days in Prince Charles Hospital in Merthyr Tydfil recovering and having scans to see if any bones were broken. Ms. Jenkins said, "My 2 front teeth had been knocked out, my face was completely swollen, and I had to have stitches in my head. It was awful. My mom Pam, 56, rushed to be with me, and she just cried her eyes out. It must have been so upsetting for her to see." Samantha decided to press charges and a court date was set. She had to relive the attack via video link. She said, "He wrote to me to apologize and beg me to drop the charges, but I was determined to see the nutcase put away. He could have killed me, and probably would have, if I hadn't got to the phone in time." The mother of one has since happily moved on with partner Kyle, 32, but finds it hard to trust him and men in general. She explained, "Kyle is nothing like Kevin, he's a real man and looks after me. It's been hard because I get insecure and paranoid. Luckily he knows what I've been through and understands." Ms. Jenkins was recently told her former partner was set for release in May 2019 and is now terrified he could move back to Carefully. She said, "I can't even imagine just bumping into him while I'm at the shops. He shouldn't be allowed back. It just isn't fair." "I still have scars from that night. I'm not allowed to forget, so why should he?"